You are live with Third Down with Morgan and Holder. I am Morgan.
And I'm Holder.
No one really cares about the second person.
Oh, here we go.
I like to give.
Starting the show off on a bad foot.
I like to give a shout out to First Take, PTI, and Undisputed.
What?
Why do you keep on laughing?
Oh, come on, man. I mean, those guys are okay, but you know what? The boys at the pivot, speak for yourself and get up. That's where all the good football talk is.
Maybe. We don't know about that yet.
I don't even like it. Let's not even talk about you because
you know, Holder. I had a good week in football this week. I think I won twice already, right? I won last week and the following week, right? Is that correct?
No, you didn't win the following week. I won the following.
No, I beat you 2 weeks in a row.
No, you see, every dog has his day, and you had your day. I'm sure you've won twice, but not twice in a row.
We did. We did. We go back and look. We can go back and look. But that being said, Holder, I will give you the week just to relax and chill and not walk on your parade, okay?
Walk on my parade?
Yeah, because you
know, on my parade.
Because what I'm about to tell you is either you're gonna laugh or you're gonna be like, I seen it coming, right? Matt Ryan, he is benched. The coach them benched him for the season. Do you like that? Do you like that idea?
Well, he hasn't been productive, and that actually is a good team. And I think Philip Rivers had more success than he did with the Colts. And Rivers wasn't really impressive, and Matt Ryan hasn't impressed me. So, I mean, the guy needs to retire. He's at the end, man. He just needs to, because what's going to happen? He's just going to get worse reviews, and people are going to talk about him. But what can they say when he's on the bench?
That's true. Matt Ryan wasn't the same last year at the Falcons. He's not the same Matt Ryan that had the MVP year a few years ago. He's not the same guy. I don't know what happened to that guy, but he's not the same guy, and I really think it's time for him to retire as well.
Well, that's when you know it's time, because when you have weapons and you can't win, it's time to retire.
I mean, yeah, the coach
points on the board.
The coach should not be the record they have. They shouldn't be in that division. I mean, they should be winning games, especially against Houston Texans. They shouldn't have tied. And that's
should either be second or first in that division.
I
feel like.
Oh, definitely. Cause I think they're a lot better than Tennessee. I mean, it didn't show last week, but I think they're a talented team better than Tennessee. I mean, Tennessee has really no good receivers. Where the Colts, they have a young, talented receiving core, along with a good running back. I don't know. But I think it's time for him to sit down and go ahead and just call it quits. On to the next note of a quarterback, PJ Walker. The interim coach has made it clear that he is staying the starter even when Baker Mayfield comes back. Do you agree with that?
Do I agree with that? Oh my God. Is there a doctor in your house? Of course I agree with that. Are you insane? Baker Mayfield is done. He ruined his career in Cleveland. He ruined his fresh career in Carolina. He should have came to Carolina with a different mindset, but yet he comes with the same Baker Mayfield mentality.
And this is the same Baker Mayfield. This is the same Baker Mayfield. We gotta let our audience know as well that this guy pretty much he don't care about the fans in Carolina. So it's definitely time for him to be done.
He should not be put in a leadership role because he doesn't know how to do that. I mean, clearly he's scarred. I mean, the NFL has scarred him with all the critics and his gameplay. So he can't just blame the critics. His gameplay has dwindled. I mean, he's been known to hype the fans up in Cleveland.
But Carolina is different than Cleveland. Like the
He's done.
Panthers,
I mean,
the Panthers are ready for a winning season. Cleveland are just like one of those franchises, like, oh, you know, we're going to suck again. No, Carolina is one of those teams like, hey, we want to be good. We've been to Super Bowls, we've been to the playoffs. We want to be better than that. We want to win the big game, and that's what Baker
I don't.
Mayfield should understand. Like, hey, this team right here wants to win. These fans want to win. Instead of, oh, I don't care about the
They
fans.
want to win, but I don't understand them letting McCaffrey go. I mean, I know McCaffrey's availability hasn't been what it used to be, but I watched him play in San Francisco. He looked pretty good.
He is, and I think he's going up the 49ers out. That line is 10 times better than Panthers. I think what they let him go is the rebuild mode. I think they are done. I think they're going to rebuild, and that's what they're looking for is rebuilding.
So, do you think Baker will be back next season?
Definitely not. No. And that is a definitely no. That's not a big no. That's not a maybe. That's a huge no. And I think he's done. I don't think he's going to start no more at any team. He might be lucky to get picked up by a team next year, but I think he's done. I think his NFL days are done.
So you think he's poisoning the franchise?
Definitely. I mean, they did beat Tampa Bay, right? So, I mean,
They did.
Yeah, they. I mean, it wasn't last week, but yeah, they did. So, no, you know what? You know what they did? They did beat them this past week. I got them an upset this week. I had to look at my things. Yes.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, so
I know Baker is not playing, and they beat.
And they won 21-3. I mean, I got them right in the upset stat. So yeah, they won 21-3. I mean, speaking of the upset, I honestly think that Baker's done in Carolina. I mean, PJ Walker, who played XFL, he was a third string quarterback, by the way, because you had Darnold and you had Baker and then PJ Walker. So with PJ Walker coming in and winning, it says a lot. It does.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, speaking of the upset between Tampa Bay and Carolina, I mean, they actually clawed their way to victory. I mean, like I said, it was 21-3. Brady had a terrible game. No touchdowns. He went 32-49, 290 passing yards. Mike Evans had a terrible game, 96 yards with 9 catches, 15 targets. And that defense was terrible with 54 tackles. I don't know how you're going to win with 54 tackles. I don't. That means people was breaking tackles, and that means you couldn't grab onto them. That was pitiful.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
it happens. And fundamentals. I mean, a lot of teams don't practice fundamentals, and then they go back to fundamentals and practice the following week to correct the mistakes that happened the week prior. I mean, you don't see a lot of defenders wrapping up now, especially in the secondary.
That's true.
Everybody using shoulder pads.
They want that big hit. They want that fumble hit, but it shouldn't be like that. Wrap up. I mean,
you gotta wrap up.
And to make it bad, I mean, you had PJ Walker, who only had 177 yards with 2 touchdowns, 16 out of 22. He didn't win the game for them, but he did because he was on offense. The offense won, right? So, I mean. Yeah. I mean, and then that Foreman, the running back that came in since Chris McCaffrey, got traded, he had 118 yards with 15 carries. I mean, that's saying something.
You know what I can't believe? I can't believe. Now this is something on you because I've been pretty good to you lately, but now I want to take a cast iron skillet to your head because you didn't even mention the Packers game.
Yeah, I didn't. I was slipping. I was talking about Baker Mayfield, and I seen the Tampa Bay. My bad, man. The Packers game. I'm happy. I have them winning, but I'm happy they lost because again, they're in the Minnesota division, the conference. Minnesota is number 1 now. Doesn't mean that there's a tie or anything like that. They're number 1. Boom, blank number 1. and I know there's a lot of Packer fans out there, but Aaron Rodgers is done. And I think he should be sitting on the bench. How can you lose against the Washington Commanders?
Well, you know what?
That's making.
There are a lot of Packer fans out there. There's a whole lot of Packer fans out there. But that being said, and Minnesota having sole possession of first place, is Minnesota going to run away
Oh,
in the division?
I
Or
think
is it going to be a close race? Because, like I said on the last session, never count out Aaron Rodgers. Even though he has a bad game,
he lost
finds
3
ways
straight.
to get that team together.
He lost 3.
Never count out Aaron Rodgers.
I think their days is over with. And you can tell me if I'm wrong. You said don't count Detroit. Also, you said Detroit's really scary. I feel like Detroit can come up and take ahead of the Packers in that division and come number 2, making Green Bay miss the playoffs.
Yeah, but you're right. But at the same time, Green Bay,
I mean, and
Detroit,
and you gotta
can
think
ruin your chances.
That's
of making
true.
The playoffs. If you have to win one game, and that game is against Green Bay or Detroit, or you got to depend on Green Bay or Detroit to get in. Those are the 2 teams that.
But also you can't count the Bears because the Bears is also on a tear right now, and we'll talk about the Bears. We'll talk about that later. But they're 3-4, so you gotta think.
I'm not sold with the Bears.
I'm not either, but I'm definitely.
They're rebuilding.
I'm not sold on the Bears, but
going to stay there. But that's another topic.
But you gotta think, Rodgers had a terrible against Washington, and this is without Chase Young. Aaron Rodgers went 23 for 35 with 198 yards, 2 touchdowns. The defense did really good with 89 tackles. So that tells me that it's the offense. The defense can stay around, but it's the offense who can't hang around. Because Washington only had 46 tackles with 1 INT.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying it's the offense. I don't think it's the Packers' defense. I think it's the Packers' offense.
So what are you telling me?
I'm telling you right now, if I was Green Bay,
telling me
if I was Green Bay,
subscribers, what are you telling us?
I know I'm gonna get some hate for this because there's some Green Bay Packer fans out there. But if I'm a Packers owner, or even in the organization, I'm gonna look for some trades. I want to trade Aaron Rodgers. You can do that. You should be able to do that because it's not the defense, it's the offense. So you're definitely want to rebound the offense.
So you want to trade Aaron Rodgers if you were the Packers?
I would.
And he's your franchise guy.
Or
do you let him finish out his contract?
No, because you got to think he's going to be there for another year. It's time to move on.
So either you bench him and let him finish out his contract. Trading him is, this guy.
If you bench him, if you bench him, right? He's taking up money that you can go after somebody. So trade him to get.
You're going to lose regardless. I mean, even if you trade him, to a team that doesn't have a big cap in the bank, they're going to make you eat some of that money.
Yeah, but this team's out there like Seattle. They might not need a quarterback, but I'm just saying they got money. There's Houston Texans. They got money. There's teams out there that has money that's willing to do some willing and dealing.
So you're telling me Aaron Rodgers would want to go to a team that has no chance of losing?
Hey, it's better to make
no chance of winning. No chance of winning.
It's better to let him know, like, hey, look, this is where we're at with this, right? So it's like a manager coming to your job. Holder, this is where we're at. You've been here for so long, but your work production is failing. Like you're forgetting some things, some steps, right? So again, this is like Aaron Rodgers, right? You're sitting down in the office, you talk to him like, hey, your production is failing us. It's either time for you to get traded or retire. One of those 2 things. Leave it up to him.
I hear what you're saying. I hear you. And I agree. I think Aaron Rodgers is on the down slope.
And maybe it could be because of the receiving core. Maybe it could be receiving core, but this is not the same Aaron Rodgers though. Again, that won a Super Bowl. I mean, he's had.
Here's how I look at it. Here's my take on it. If now in the NFL, players that want to be on the same page stay late and practice, right? They form this chemistry. They build this chemistry. Either that's not happening and Aaron Rodgers doesn't care, or he just wants to buy his time out and retire this year. But personally, if I was a veteran like that, a salty veteran, I would want to go out on a good note.
I mean, he's been in a way since they got what was that, Jordan Love? I think it was the quarterback they drafted without telling Aaron Rodgers. He's been in a salty move since then.
Well, wouldn't you be if somebody drafted a quarterback? I mean, me personally, if it was me, I'd just play my game. I wouldn't
exactly. Because look, you already know I'm the face of the franchise. If you draft a quarterback, that means it's going to help you guys out if I get hurt. He's not taking my job. And that's the way Aaron Rodgers should have looked at that.
Oh, that's the way he should look at it. But I've heard rumors that Aaron Rodgers is a butthole. I mean, he's difficult to work with.
And maybe that's the case. Maybe it's him. Maybe it's not receiving core. Maybe it's him calling his receiving core out. I don't know.
People. I mean, he's just. I mean, he had Danica Patrick. That was his woman. Danica Patrick. How do you let that get away?
You act like Danica Patrick is like a dime piece.
She's a beautiful woman, and she's rich.
I am done with you. On to the next. Holder, I remember last week we was talking about this game I'm about to bring up, and you said, and I quote what you said, and I should listen to you. You said the Seahawks was going to storm past the Chargers, probably for the biggest upset, which they did for the biggest upset, 37-23. Geno Smith, who would have thought, had a terrific game, by the way, 210 yards for 20 out of 27 with 2 touchdowns. I mean,
the yardage isn't great, but his percentage
is definitely great.
It's good. It's good.
But the yardage was good enough for them to win.
Oh yeah, actually it is. I mean, if you're not throwing 300 plus, that's a great game. But like you said, his pass percentage through the roof. And I
can't leave this one out. This is without DK. DK went down in the second quarter, so technically, it was a big loss, right? But Geno Smith made up for that with that win.
And that being said, Mr. The Chargers will be, and I do like the Chargers. I think both of us agree.
I think the Chargers
are a young team, up and coming.
They are, but
in that division.
I think they're done this year. I mean, they had 3 injuries that game. Not to mention with Bosa, he was out already. I think their playoff chances are done. I really do that now. I really believe that they're done now.
So you're saying that the offense can't carry that team?
No, and it shows.
Really?
And it shows. And it shows. I mean, Herbert went 33 for 51 for 203 yards with 2 touchdowns and an interception. I mean, Ekeler, the running back, he led the team in rushing yards with 22 and in receiving yards with 96. I mean, he combined with 2 touchdowns. So no, I don't think this offense is going to be that good. I don't think it's going to be
a talented team, but you got to look at how often do they meet Seattle. I mean, that's a team that.
But here's the thing, though.
They may play every 3 years or something.
Something like that. But here's the thing, though. If you can't beat a team that you can beat, how do we know that you can go out there and beat Kansas City, or how do we know you can go out there and beat Las Vegas? It's not going to happen.
Divisional game.
True, that's true. But you need to.
You know those 2 teams like you know your own team.
That's true, and I can't argue with that. But I just think the Chargers are done this year. I mean, they lost a lot. J.C. Jackson's out. That's one of the biggest defensive backs they had. He's out. So
a lot of teams suffer with great losses. I mean,
that's and here's the thing: Keelan Allen, he's supposed to be like the biggest receiver, like the brightest receiver, right? He didn't do anything last week. I mean, I feel like
I'm sure they game plan for him.
That's true. That's true. But
Williams is good too.
But he got hurt. He got hurt. He has a high ankle sprain. He got one in that game.
Yeah, I know.
So
you can only do what you can do with what you have. I mean, if some of those players come back, now December is the biggest month.
That's true.
For the NFL.
That is true.
December football is what gets you into the playoffs.
That is true. I just don't see the Chargers making the playoffs right now.
Get some of their star players back and get back in the group. I mean, like you said.
I mean, honestly,
it's good that injuries occur early in the season
than late.
So,
but
I'll leave it at that. I'm not counting the Chargers out, but I'm saying the Chargers.
So let me ask you this question.
Are on the thin line. They're on the thin line.
Let me ask you this question. You already know Bosa's been hurt, right? Do you think Bosa should go ahead and take the rest of the year off, or do you think he should come back and play? I feel like he should go ahead and just say, F the season. Let me go ahead and come back next year stronger and better. I mean,
I think right now, I believe that because they're in the position that they're in, they need star power. And if he gets hurt again, which he always is, so it's not a mystery. If Bosa
definitely
sits out the rest of the season and comes back fresh next year, he'll be hurt by the third game, regardless of him taking time off to recover. That's just Bosa's MO. Since he's been in the league, he's been hurt.
And he's not like his brother Nick. Nick hasn't been hurt as much as Joey has, and that's crazy. It's like JJ and TJ. JJ's been hurt, almost half his career off and on.
JJ has established himself.
Oh, definitely.
I mean,
definitely.
I honestly think JJ, which is a different subject, should sit down next year. But I think Bosa should play when he can play to help the team, and then if he can't be there for the rest of the season, so be it. But they need some push to win some games, and they need everybody they can get.
Definitely. Do you think they should trade some people, maybe some draft picks, or do you think they should just play with what they have? I think they should trade some draft picks.
I don't think they made any free agent moves.
They got J.C. Jackson and Khalil Mack. Of course they traded for Khalil Mack and they signed Jackson, but that's it.
This trade right here, which is what? When is
the trade deadline? It's coming up.
Yeah, so they haven't done anything recently.
Nope. And you gotta think. You have plenty of people on a trading block right now that we might not even know about. So look at Christian McCaffrey. That trade took us by surprise. How do we know another one won't happen?
By the end of the week.
That's true. That is true.
It just seems like that they're just going to go with what they have and move into next season. Hopefully, get some good draft picks and come out because they're building around Justin Herbert.
Oh, definitely. And he's not a bad quarterback. So I don't want people to think I'm saying he's a bad quarterback. I just think the offense is not that good with him. Keelan Allen's getting up there. He's been in 8 seasons already. I think it's time to move on from him to get some younger receiving core.
Yeah, why don't we bring in some of our listeners and subscribers and get their opinions on what's going on with the Chargers?
Speaking of our listeners and subscribers, I want you guys to take a moment. Think about this hard. I want you guys to tell us. You can message us, email us. I want y'all to tell us what game that me and Holt should bet on for me to wear his pink tutu and him wear something that we talked about. I think it was the Minnesota t-shirt that we talked about last week. I want you guys to let us know what you guys think for the upcoming games that's coming up this week. With that being said, Holder, I'm going to ask this question because my team was on a bye this week. What the heck is going on in Pittsburgh? You guys won. Now you guys lost. And you guys didn't lose bad either. It was 16-10. And I have to blame this one on Pickett because of 3 interceptions. If he didn't throw those 3 interceptions, I think y'all could have won.
No. One of the interceptions, Claypool fell.
I knew he was going to blame it on Clay.
And it was picked because his legs got tangled.
Right.
Quarterback capitalized on and got Pickett closer to scoring.
Because you got to think.
We could have got field goals out of those.
Yeah.
4 field goals.
And the reason why I want you to know something. I'm not picking on Pickett. I believe that if his interceptions didn't happen, they could have won that game. That's how I feel. So I want you to know I'm not picking on Pickett because I like Pickett. I think Pickett is a tremendous quarterback. I just believe
Pickett does what he's supposed to do. This is a learning thing.
But
Pickett is not throwing games away.
Oh, definitely. No. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying he's a young quarterback.
When you have a rookie quarterback, that team needs to be balanced. Your defense needs to be putting him in good position.
And also
to move the team.
And also, I want our subscriber listeners to know that Pickett really didn't have a quarterback to look up to because Trubisky wasn't all that good, so you couldn't learn from him.
No, absolutely not. Pickett is doing this on his own. Pickett studies, and he's got the right mentality, right? You don't see him going to the sideline with his head down. You don't see the players distancing themselves from him on the bench. I mean, they're supporting him.
Right.
He makes a mistake.
Right.
They're saying, forget about it. You're supposed to get amnesia when you make those kind of mistakes.
Exactly. So let me.
He's making the right decisions on when to run. I mean, it was a 3rd and 16, and he ran for it and got the first down.
I mean, he can run. I can tell you that he can run. He uses his legs when he needs to. That's for sure. And that's something that Pittsburgh needs because that line is not good. And I can tell you right now it's not good because Harris, I mean, he's come off a season with 2,000 yards rushing with a terrible line, and it's still not good.
Yeah, but if you look at what Jaylen Warren is doing, they're running behind the same line.
So do you think
it was 4th and 1, and Najee Harris, I love him to death, jumps over a player instead of putting his head down and running for the first down. So he jumps and gets tripped up by the defender, and he falls short of the first down. He should have just ran through that guy. That guy is strong as a bull.
But and here it is, Holder. Here it is. Like, I know my team was on a bye, but Minnesota has the same running back situation. Like, I believe Alexander Mattison is way better than Cook, but you had to have that 1-2 punch, and I think that's where Harris and Jaylen Warren are going to come in. Is that 1-2 punch?
Yeah, absolutely.
So definitely.
Najee has to start making good decisions. He's got to make good decisions.
That is true.
And I'm hoping I'm hoping that because of his star power, he doesn't think he has to practice as hard, because he's not running the same as he was last year. Last year he was hungry.
But do you think he's scared to get injured again? He was injured a little bit this year.
I don't think he's scared to get injured. I mean, that's football players. It's in their DNA.
But you don't. You know what I mean?
Outpower the next guy. They're all alphas out there. Everybody out there is an alpha male. So, no, I just think he's just making poor decisions. That's all that is.
I mean, they kind of held Hill and Waddle. I mean, they only had a combined for 60 yards. I mean, that's pretty good for that defense to stop those two receivers like that. But yeah, it comes down to that defense, though. That defense, 62 tackles compared to 82 tackles. You tell me who wins.
The tackles, though, it's the interception opportunity.
Yeah, I mean,
those are turnovers.
Those are. And the reason why I'm saying tackles is because if they don't wrap up, someone's gonna hit, for a touchdown, or someone's gonna hit for a big, for a big gain.
Yeah, I applaud their tackling, but when an opportunity is staring you in the face, now keep in mind when you're on the field, you're playing defense, but you're thinking we have a rookie quarterback. Anytime that ball is in the air, we need to capitalize and put him in a good position for us to win the game. That's what defense is for. And offense is supposed to do what? Drive and rest the defense while they're on the sideline.
True.
So defenses, if you see an opportunity to get a turnover, you're taking yourself off the field for rest, right? And putting the ball in the hands of the offense.
So do you
You know,
blame the coach, the defensive coordinator for allowing the interceptions to get through their defenders' hands? Do you blame that, or do you blame it
well,
on the players?
no, you know what's going to happen. They're going to practice, and they're going to be on the judge machine, and they're going to have them catching passes from the judge. That's all. You know, they have to. You know, 1 week is poor tackling. The next week is gap discipline, or not. You know, it's always something that fails in the game. So I mean, I'm just saying they lost. I blame the loss on the defense.
Oh, definitely. You say defense. I'm gonna. I can agree to disagree. But yeah, I agree with some things you're saying. Definitely. The, um, and
Jesus Christ.
I can't. I'm looking at my next big game, which was Monday, and I'm looking at it right now, Holder, and I'm itching my head on this. The Bears, they beat New England, first time since 2000.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying I don't understand New England's what they did. I mean, they took out Mac Jones. He didn't even do anything wrong. They took him out. Like took him out. I mean, he threw one interception, but went for 13 yards. They took him out to put the Zappy guy in, who threw two interceptions. I mean, it's a head scratcher. I don't know what New England was thinking. I think it's a bad call.
Maybe Belichick wants to rebuild. Maybe he wants to tank.
Maybe, but Mac Jones is 10 times better than Zappy.
Well, again, maybe he wants to tank. I mean, well, if you take a quarterback, your franchise guy out to put in somebody who nobody's ever heard of.
I mean, the defense was good.
Without reason, clearly he wants to be in a good draft position next season.
That's true.
If he's even going to be with the Patriots.
I think they might even look at him because he's a cheater. I don't like him. He's a cheater. The whole team cheats. Anyways, Justin Fields, and I don't like I like Fields to an extent, but he did make some points, here recently, saying that hey, he's tired of the Bears saying almost there, almost there. They need to be there all the way, he said, right? And then he came out and won this game. But he got sacked 3 times and fumbled 4. I just don't see. I don't see him being in Chicago much longer. He's not a rookie no more. This is his second year. He's not a rookie no more.
Well, you know what? Again, it falls back to fundamentals. When you are a guy, when you're handling the ball, it's always 2 hands on it. If you're in the pocket, 2 hands tightly on the ball until you're ready to throw it. Even if you're escaping the pocket. Back in my day, which quarterbacks ran with both hands on the ball when they ran, because they ran those option offenses. But they always had 2 hands on the ball. This is college. These guys are coming out of college. And I don't think Justin Fields was with a run-heavy type of offense.
And you got to think,
throwing the ball.
And maybe I'm wrong on this, but these guys are quick, strong, and more bigger or athleticism than what people think they are, right? So yeah, definitely, it's like getting by a Mack truck almost. So yeah, 2 hands on the ball. You're right, 2 hands on the ball. And no, Fields was not. In Ohio State, they didn't do that. They didn't. I don't know. That was not a run-heavy game. Our team in Ohio State.
And that's, what, we can say that, but Justin Fields has been in the league long enough to know better.
Exactly.
Ball security is key to winning games. I mean, you don't create turnovers, you're going to win the game.
And I have to point this out. The Bears only had 48 tackles, 3 interceptions, where the Patriots had 90 tackles. I mean, it's a big difference there. So defense definitely didn't win that game. It had to be the offense, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I'm a stats guy, and like looking at the stats makes me want to yell, right? Like what is going on here? Because those stats is mind blowing. 90 tackles compared to 48 tackles, and you guys still lost.
Well, it's the NFL,
That's
granted,
true.
but some teams don't take other teams seriously. Now, the Patriots could have went into the game
Think it was gonna be easy
just
win.
Playing the Bears, they don't have a successful quarterback. Their defense, Khalil Mack's not there anymore. Maybe they just didn't take the Bears seriously.
Maybe. I mean, I'm blown away that the way that the Bears actually won though, 33 to 14. I mean, because when they played Minnesota barely beat them. They won by 3 points. And I know Minnesota's way better than the Bears.
Well, I guess we'll see who the Bears are when they take on Dallas.
I'm hoping the Bears beat Dallas, even though I think I got Dallas winning that game. I can't wait for Minnesota to play Dallas. That game comes up in a couple weeks. I cannot wait. Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited to play the America's team. So, with that being said, subscribers, listeners, week 8 picks are in, and I believe I can win 3 straight against Holder. 3 straight.
Okay.
I mean, do you guys agree?
I've seen your picks. Oh my God.
You say that, but look what happened last week and the week before.
Oh my God, I've seen your picks.
So tomorrow, Thursday night on Amazon Prime, we have Baltimore and Tampa Bay. The way Tampa Bay's playing, I didn't pick them. I picked Baltimore. Even though Baltimore's defense isn't a threat, I believe they have a chance of beating Tampa Bay. The way Tampa Bay has been playing, Baltimore is definitely going to beat them.
Baltimore has been playing. I picked Baltimore, but I was scared to pick Baltimore.
I was the same way.
Baltimore hasn't been the greatest.
I was the same way until I looked back at those stats of when Tampa Bay played against Carolina, because I think Baltimore, hands down, Baltimore's defense is way better than Carolina's defense. And I'm like, man, like this should be no brainer, because the way Tom Brady, I know it's 2 different teams, I know that, but the way he played against Carolina, I said he definitely gonna get 8 up against Baltimore.
You know what? I just like the Bears and the Patriots. I think Tampa Bay didn't take Carolina seriously.
Could.
I think Tampa Bay, and I can't stand TB12.
He's a crybaby.
But they know this is a big game coming up.
They need to win more than what they are, because if they don't start winning, they're not gonna make the playoffs. They're not.
Which I hope they don't. But at the same time, I hope Baltimore loses, because they're in our division.
And if Baltimore keeps losing, their playoff days are done.
But I picked Baltimore because of pen and paper. They should win. But again, I think Tampa Bay will look at this more as a critical game.
Definitely.
Versus against the Panthers, which they thought they could just slide through that game.
And you gotta think Lamar Jackson is a threat. He's a threat to. He's way better than PJ Walker is. Way better. So yeah. So that Tampa Bay's defense, they gotta come up strong. They gotta make that stop. I don't think they see it happen.
Well, they're gonna spy. They're gonna put a spy on him, and he's faster than he is on tape. So
Exactly.
They just have to put a game plan together, which I'm sure they will. But I got Baltimore winning.
You keep on doing this. You keep on picking Jacksonville. Jacksonville has maybe won 3 times since you picked them. I got Denver beating Jacksonville. And
it's a free country.
And
you can pick whoever you
want. Both of these.
All I know is it's me that's going to come out on top.
We don't know that. We don't know that.
We know that.
I tell you what, Holder.
Because you have this blind faith in Denver for some reason. Denver's
a hit or miss. Denver's a hit or miss.
Denver is supposed to be a ball and football club. And
I wouldn't say all of that, but they're supposed to win some.
Jacksonville has something to prove.
Definitely.
Well, I think Jacksonville is probably a little more hungry than Denver.
I think Denver's hungry. I don't see Russell Wilson starting this week again. I don't, but see what happens.
Denver's hungry. Denver's washing windshields at the light on the street. Okay,
Hey, don't talk about my quarterback like that. Don't talk about my quarterback like that.
Scraping right now.
Don't talk about my quarterback.
They're doing that while the Jaguars are in the drive-thru at Whataburger or.
Man, you know what? I think you are smoking that Pele stuff. That.
Okay.
I mean, you live in Texas. I'm just saying. That's not a hit, by the way, for Texans fans. Not a hit. I didn't mean to disrespect Texans fans like that. Anyways, Atlanta and Carolina. We both got Atlanta winning. Hands down, I think Marcus Mariota is way better than PJ Walker. I think Atlanta has more talent than Carolina. I think Atlanta's defense is way better than Carolina. I mean, that's why I picked Atlanta. Atlanta has something to prove this year. I mean, they're rebuilding, but they still they've won some big games.
I picked Atlanta, and for me, I think both of these teams are equally unsuccessful. But I picked Atlanta because Atlanta is supposed to win. Carolina's in a rut.
Yeah.
I think Carolina's quarterback has something to prove, but I just don't think they have enough to beat Atlanta.
I'm just not sold on PJ Walker. I'm not. He came from the XFL, undrafted in NFL. I'm just not sold on PJ Walker yet. I'm not. I think Marcus Mariota is a way better leader. But I guess time will tell, right? And
the clock's ticking. So I mean,
and I can't believe I did.
Will be up, you know it.
This next pick, I can't believe I did this because I always clown on the Cowgirls. But I got Dallas beating Chicago. This hands down should be a win that Dallas needs. They need this win. So people would be on Dak Prescott's shoulders, right? Because right now, even though he beat the Lions, like, oh, it's just the Lions. But against the Bears, like, oh, that team was supposed to be good, right? So this right here is definitely going to tell how good Prescott really is. I mean, coming off his injury.
So what does it say about Dallas if they lose this game?
I think they need to step back and question yourself. Is Prescott going to be the future? Is he going to be the quarterback they need to? Because to me, Cooper Rush, he put Dallas on the map so far when Prescott was hurt. I mean,
and he had the team behind him too.
True, that is true. So again, I mean, I think there's a lot of pressure for Prescott. Believe it or not, I think Prescott has a lot of pressure.
Yeah, he has pressure, but I mean, personally, I truly believe that if Dallas loses this game, there's going to be a lot of question marks.
Oh, definitely. I mean, they're third in that division because you have Philadelphia, who's undefeated. You got the Giants, who lost one game, and you got Dallas right there, who lost two. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of questions, a lot of ins, ups, and buts about it. Definitely.
A lot of question marks, but Dallas, I think Dallas, and Dallas should win.
I mean, hands down, they said Dallas is gonna make the Super Bowl this year. That's what everybody's saying, right? I don't see it happening. I really don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon.
No, I think if anything, Philly maybe.
Philly has a good chance. They do, absolutely have a good chance. I'll let you know week 11 and week 12, but yeah, Philadelphia does have a good shot.
Unless they just totally fall off the map. I mean,
I just don't see that happening unless injuries because, I mean, time would tell. Next game, I got Miami over Detroit. You picked Detroit. I don't know why you do that to yourself. I don't know why you give Detroit so much hope.
I do that because you have to pick an upset game. There has to be.
Oh, I got upset game. I got upset game
are.
picked, but we'll talk about that in a little bit because I picked the upset game for a reason. But why do you sell yourself so short with Detroit? Because to me, I can't. I hope Detroit wins. I do because I like the play. I like the play calling, but I just don't think Detroit has enough to beat Miami. I don't.
I don't either. But that's why they
But
play the game.
I like Detroit because I mean I like the coach. The coach calls like awesome plays. They got some young talent over there. I just don't. Maybe next year Detroit will be a lot better. But
I'm not. I didn't pick Detroit because they're a powerhouse ball club. I picked Detroit
because they scared.
People like you that don't have
Faith.
faith in them, and when they beat powerhouse teams, they can finish the season. You know.
Can you tell me what power team they beat?
They could be 2-15 at the end of the season, but those 2 wins.
Can you tell me what power team they beat? By the way, can you tell me? I just want to know what powerhouse team they beat.
The season isn't over. I'm just saying.
I mean, they won one game, but can you tell me who the powerhouse team they beat?
The season isn't over. They still have powerhouses to play. Is what I'm saying.
But I'm saying you said 2
games that they're not supposed to win.
But you said they could go 2-15. I'm just saying they won a game already.
I'm saying if they went 2-15, just as an example, those 2 games would be against powerhouse teams. That's what I'm saying. And they've done that in the past. They've beaten teams they should have lost to.
That's the past. This is now. I'll let you know.
I know.
Next.
And again, when they win, this is the game you're going to wear the tutu.
We don't know that yet. We don't know that. It could happen. Maybe. Possible.
This is the game. This is the game you can get shamed and embarrassed.
You know what? I did leave it up to subscribers and listeners, but you know what, Holder? I'm going to take your challenge. If Detroit beats Miami, I'll let you shame me.
Get ready.
I'll let you shame me.
Get ready. You're going down the Hall of Shame.
I'll let you shame me. If Detroit beats Miami this week, and it's by the way, our subscribers listeners they are listening. So if Miami loses, you can shame me this week.
You're still my boy, but that's why I picked the underdog team that's supposed to lose, and there's no way.
I have faith in Miami. So yes, if Miami loses, you can shame me.
Miami's good, but Miami is not undefeated, my friend.
They're not, but they're a lot better in Detroit. Next up is they are. Next up is my favorite team, Minnesota Vikings. Of course, I got them winning against Arizona. Holder, why'd you pick Minnesota to win?
That's a damn good question.
I mean, because you was all about Arizona last year. You was about how good they was going to be. I'm just curious why you're picking this against Minnesota.
That's a damn good question, my friend. Because I like what Arizona is doing. D-Hop is back.
Oh, definitely he's back.
I picked Minnesota. Now, this pick was made blindly.
I kind of believe that.
Alexander Madison is gone, so...
Oh, he's not gone yet, but he's on a trade block.
Who's their 1-2 punch? I mean, is Madison going to play?
That's a good question. I mean,
down his stock if he gets hurt.
I mean, we do have that rookie from Iowa State who's doing our kickoff return and punt returns. I mean, he's really good. He's not as good as Alexander Mattison, but he's quick. He can come in. And we got KJ Osborne who can play.
But the team Minnesota has a very good, talented ball club.
Oh, definitely.
The only thing about Minnesota that scares me is the quarterback.
You're right.
I did pick Minnesota.
Because Kirk Cousins isn't really consistent. Like, he might throw a couple of interceptions and he might throw a touchdown, but he's not consistent enough throwing a touchdown. If that makes sense.
I think here's the problem.
And he's like a statue. He stands there.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins is in another football dimension. Okay, all the other quarterbacks are mobile
Definitely.
and can get out of trouble. Kirk Cousins is doing the Ben Roethlisberger thing. I don't know. I think if the pressure is right, they can get him.
Oh, definitely.
But I'm hoping, because these picks are important to me this week, because I'm going to kick you into you-know-what.
I'm taking this 3 weeks in a row right here, buddy. 3 weeks in a row. Even if we tie, it's going to be 3 weeks in a row.
I'm going to make you eat crow.
Okay. If you say so. My next pick, I got New Orleans over Las Vegas. The reason why I got New Orleans is because of the way Las Vegas has been playing compared to New Orleans. New Orleans is a team that you can't look past. Just like you say, Detroit can scare teams. New Orleans can scare teams.
It depends on who's their quarterback.
That's true. I give you that.
It depends on who's their quarterback. Now, I know Jameis Winston, I don't even think he was in uniform on the sideline for that last game.
I think he's still I think he's gonna be out for another week or two. But I mean, who knows? And I really don't see him start when he gets back, because the Red Rifle, he's on a tear for New Orleans right now.
Yeah, he's doing things. And they're still using what's the other quarterback? Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill, yep.
They're still using him. I mean, he plays tight end, running back, and quarterback.
Definitely.
I think he's the X factor.
Oh yeah. I mean, I just don't see David. I mean, I like David Carr and I like Devontae Adams, because those two guys are really good together. But I just don't think Las Vegas has enough to stop New Orleans. I mean, you have Kamara, and if Michael Thomas is on top of his game, you have him. You got to stop him. You got Jarvis Landry. If he's on top of his game, you got to stop him. You know, I mean,
you're insane. Michael Thomas is not back.
I'm just saying.
I don't know. I think the Raiders'
run defense is terrible, and that shows.
I think the Raiders are better.
If the Raiders' tight end is still out, it's gonna be troublesome.
Well, and that's why you're the stat guy. I mean, I have this belief. I believe the Raiders are better than New Orleans.
No, record tells different story. And New Orleans hasn't really been blown out either. New Orleans has been kept in some close games.
Okay, so who's favored in this game? I'm sure Las Vegas has the Raiders.
I'm gonna look real quick, because that was a good question. I don't want to tell you wrong, right? And I don't want my listeners to be like, oh well, but the Raiders 62. So yeah, 62. Yeah, so the Raiders.
So I guess this is your upset pick.
That's one of them. I mean, that's one of them. Michael Thomas. I mean, he's questionable. Darren Waller, he's questionable, and if he's not playing for the Raiders, that's, you know.
Darren Waller he's touch and go too. I mean, even when he's healthy, you know.
Yeah, but he's a tight end that can catch and block. So
there are times that he isn't catching the ball.
That's true. That's true. But he's a good tight end. I like him. He's scary when he's on top of his game. He's scary.
He's scary, yeah, when he's on top of his game, but that's not consistent. So I have the Raiders.
Next pick, the Jets. I had to do it again. I had to pick Jets again over New England. We both got Jets winning. I think Zach Wilson is a lot better than whoever New England's going to start. I mean, because New England has a lot of issues going on right now. With the Jets, they don't. Jets know who the starting quarterback is. Granted, you know, Hall's done, but they also got James Robinson The Jets got James Robinson to help out since Hall's gone. That's a big upgrade.
Well, again, I'll say this again. Hopefully you're awake this time. And my question is, why are we all of a sudden picking the Jets to win games when in the past, when we've talked about it,
We dog the
we always
Jets.
pick the Jets to lose?
I think
Even
right.
when we had Bell and all these other guys.
I think this is different. This team right here is different than any other team that we talked about because again, Zach Wilson's he's a lot better than the quarterbacks they had in the past. The line is a lot better. Their defense is tremendous. I like Sauce. I like Sauce. He's good. So
Sauce Gardner.
yeah,
Sauce.
I like Sauce. He's good.
I like sauce in my spaghetti.
We're talking about the full player. Moving on from that, I forgot. Hold on, I forgot you're Italian. I'm sorry, buddy.
You know, it's in my blood. I wouldn't say I'm 100%, but okay.
Who doesn't like spaghetti? Who doesn't like sauce and spaghetti? I'm just saying. No, but
Pizza sauce. I mean sauce.
no, but seriously, the Jets are a lot better than what people think, and I think it's time for the Jets to wake people up.
I agree.
I mean, in that division you have what? Buffalo, Miami, but now you got the Jets. So
yeah, the Jets are they're making a name for themselves slowly but surely. Not
they're
big chunks.
you know in college basketball you have that Cinderella team. The Jets is the Cinderella team right now in NFL. So
Jets, I think the Jets are getting people's attention.
oh, definitely. The question is, can they keep the motor going all the way to the playoffs?
Well, only injuries will tell.
That's true. You know, this pick right here is my other upset. I got Pittsburgh beating Philadelphia. Again.
Oh my God! Why?
Why? And Pittsburgh isn't bad. They're not bad at all, like people think, because of the record. They're not bad. I believe now. I believe that with Pickett at the helm, I think he's going to bring that team to life, and it's showing he has. Yes, he might have made a couple mistakes, but he's brought that team alive. So, and with them doing that,
the Eagles to lose to a team that's in Philadelphia or that's in Pennsylvania, wouldn't that be fitting?
And I think Pittsburgh needs to be this team that beat Philadelphia. I think Pittsburgh needs to beat Philadelphia to make that team come alive, just like what Pickett wants. Pickett wants that team to come alive, and if they beat Philadelphia in Philadelphia, Pittsburgh will come alive, and they're going to go on a winning streak.
Pittsburgh needs to make a statement that we are the kings of Pennsylvania. Yeah, there's two teams here, but we're the team. I'm just saying. I'm a Steelers fan, so it's a biased pick. But every week that goes past, I'm picking Pittsburgh to win. So
and I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna stop Pittsburgh because again, I like Pickett. I like Mike Tomlin. I have nothing against Mike Tomlin. So, but they need this win.
Mike Tomlin is a sore subject for me. I like Mike Tomlin, but sometimes his decisions, I think he should have started Pickett at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, definitely, because they would have won more games.
And you got Mitch Trubisky in case you didn't get your draft pick, right? In case you didn't get the quarterback you wanted, Trubisky was.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, Holder, and you got to think about this. Maybe he wanted Trubisky to start, so let people think that he wasn't going to start Pickett for the for the season, right? But then against the Jets, against the Jets, something triggered, right? Like, I'm gonna go ahead and put this young guy in, and now look.
He could have done that from the beginning of the season.
That's true.
He had the same thing. You know what you're drafting because the kid was right next door at 10. You've seen him every day.
You're
every
right.
day.
You're right. I can't disagree with you.
For me, Tomlin, like this Matt Canada coordinator, he sucks. But yet, he believes in him, and I know what he's doing. He's, portraying this thing for the media and all this. But Canada's terrible.
On to the next pick, because we're running out of time. On to the next pick. I got Tennessee over Houston. I'm pretty sure Tennessee's a lot better than Houston.
Why?
But you picked Tennessee to win as well. I picked Tennessee.
It's a divisional game.
That's true, but I picked Tennessee because I don't think Houston can stop Derrick Henry at all. And I get it. And I know that's what Tennessee's doing. I know they're using Henry. They're running Henry, running, not passing much.
What?
But hands down, Tennessee also beat the Colts, where Houston tied with the Colts. So again, Tennessee's a lot better than Houston.
Morgan, I love you to death. I love you like you was my own smell.
You mean your son, right?
No, smell.
You meant son.
No, I meant smell.
Okay.
Now, I too picked Tennessee. But again, it was a scared pick because it's a divisional game. We both know Houston is terrible.
Oh, they suck. And I know there's Houston fans out there, but they do suck.
And we both know that Jacksonville should lose to Indianapolis. We know that. But
it's
that division.
Helms asked a question. Where'd you get Jacksonville and Indy? Because it's Jacksonville and Denver.
I'm saying when Indy loses to Jacksonville.
Yeah, I got you. I just want to clarify that.
It's a divisional game.
You're right. But hands down, on paper, Tennessee's a lot better. And I'm a stats guy, so I have to go with stats.
I picked Tennessee, like I said, but I think it was a scary pick.
Yeah, and this next one is a head slapper because why did you pick Indianapolis to beat Washington? With all that, Indianapolis over Washington, why? I mean,
India is a better talented team.
I think it's evenly matched. I do, because Carson Wentz is not playing. I like Washington's quarterback right now. I think it's evenly matched.
This is why we have this show, because you and I don't see eye to eye.
No, we don't.
Clearly, I've lived long enough to see football games and out there playing, and you...
yeah, because you're a dinosaur.
You got the binky in your hand, pull it out. Stop sucking on it and grow up, okay?
I can't believe you think Washington's going to lose. I guess it's another upset for me. I don't know.
Oh, you must know something I don't know. Is Chase back?
Not that I know.
I don't know what your reasoning is, but okay. I thought maybe Chase came back.
If Chase came back, I would tell you. Believe me, I wouldn't know that from you. Next pick, I got 49ers over the Rams. I like 49ers, especially with Chris McCaffrey playing. I like their chances of beating the Rams. I mean, you have Debo, you have Christian McCaffrey, you got Kettles. I mean, the defense is really good too over there. And this is another divisional game. So, but when it came down to it, I had to look at what San Francisco has over there compared to what the Rams has.
Hey man, I love the 49ers. Okay, love them. I don't think there was a time when I didn't like San Francisco, but I don't know, man. This team is so talented.
Oh, definitely. I mean, the 49ers is going to be a team to watch for come next year, because that means that Christian McCaffrey is going to have that mold chemistry with the 49ers. I think it'll be a scary team next year.
You do? Do you think they're going to start Mr. Quarterback?
I honestly think that they need to look at their options, because Trey Lance is good, but is he going to be really good compared to what Jimmy G is with his offense right now? That's the question.
He was the future. He was drafted as franchise.
That's true.
Future.
But right now, Jimmy G's going to have chemistry that Trey Lance won't have. So,
Well, I guess next week in training camp we'll see how many people or how many reps
that's
they
true.
both get.
And I can't believe this next pick because I don't like any team in New York. Besides, I mean, I picked the Jets, but I also just picked the Giants. I don't get it. I picked the Giants over Seattle.
Why?
Why?
What is your faith?
My faith is not in Seattle. I can tell you that right now. My faith is in Barkley. I like Barkley. I like the running back for the Giants.
My friend, didn't Seattle just win a big game?
Shut up. We don't talk about that. That was last week. That was in the past. This is now. This is
Didn't they just win a big game?
That was the past. This is the present.
Come on, bro.
The Giants, man. This is the Giants is a talented team. So on paper, they're a lot better than Seattle. But I got the Giants.
Clearly.
I mean, maybe I should win with Seattle, but I got faith in Daniel Jones this week. I don't know why.
Danny Dimes is your guy.
That's my guy this week. I'm taking him to beat Seattle. Next pick was no brainer for me. I love that pick. I got Buffalo beating Green Bay. I didn't have to think about that one. The way
I
that
think we both had that feeling.
I mean, the way that Aaron Rodgers has been playing the last 3 games that they lost, it's not the same. So, and Buffalo's defense is scary. And they're playing against Josh Allen. Josh Allen's a lot better than half these quarterbacks Aaron Rodgers is playing against. No offense, Kirk Cousins, but
Yeah, I got Buffalo pick too, but again, something tells me, something weird tells me
it's going to be an upset.
that this game is going to be a big game we're going to be talking about next week. And it's not a big game.
It could be an upset, though, because Green Bay's underdogs
Yeah,
right now.
It'll be a game that we may discuss
It's going to be,
next week.
and I'm gonna have to scratch my head when Buffalo loses. Monday night, Halloween, we have Cincinnati beating Cleveland. Cleveland is not the same team that they have been in the past. I got Cincinnati because, again, I like Jamar Chase. I like Higgins. I like Boyd. I like Joe Burrow. I like Joe Mixon. And I don't think Cleveland can stop those guys. I don't. I don't think Cleveland has what it takes.
We know who you like.
Just saying. I'm not a Bengals fan either, guys, but I know I like those players.
Yeah, Morgan, we know who you like.
You don't like Jamar Chase?
I picked Cincinnati as well. I didn't pick Cincinnati for that reason, for those reasons that you mentioned.
Makes them
I
good.
picked Cincinnati because they're supposed to win this game. They're supposed to win this game, but has Cincinnati's run defense been good as of lately? You know who they're going up against.
Chubbs and Cream Hunt.
So that's the meat and potatoes. And then, I think Cincinnati, like I said, I'm just.
You know, it's crazy that
running game, Cleveland, because once they get that running game going.
Yeah, but Cleveland's running game could be.
Have that 1-2 punch like they do.
That's true, but Cleveland can get the running game going. But can Cleveland stop the receiving core, Chase, Higgins, and Boyd?
Well, balls do get tapped in the tip drills.
But I think Chase is quick. I don't think he's been shut down this year. So I don't know. With that being said, I can't wait for these games. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, well, like I said, I got Cincinnati picked to win as well.
With that being said, subscribers and listeners, don't let 4th down get you.
Hey, and for me, my listeners that believe in chemistry and all that good stuff, talent, and not stats people like Morgan, stay penalty free.
Go like and subscribe.